So our plane has successfully brought us to the desert, more or less, but it seems like there's a lot of desert to be had. Like the distance from our airport to the explosion site is about the same as the small island that we started on here. So maybe it's time that we research a rocket engine to give us all the speed we need to cross the desert. And then definitely also some better wings like this jet wing here. And then let's use the last of our scrap to get a new cockpit. This one looks very narrow. That should give us some insane speeds. It looks like a jet pit. So maybe we make a rocket-powered fighter jet without the fighting. If we sell this whole thing, then we get, wow, 13,000 to deal with. That should help things out. Actually, I take it back. This is more like a glider cockpit. One of those no-powered ones. Like, how does it even get up in the air? Do they just shoot down a ramp? Well, either way, I think ours is gonna be much better. Just give it a little bit of size. And then the rocket is, wow, that costs 5,000 for one of these. But it can fit right on the back there. Oh yes, Kerbal shenanigans are back. How heavy is this thing? Only 1.8, really? And then we did get new wings as well. Small jet wings. So okay, I like where this is going, but I think we need a little more size. Something like that should work well enough, but the center of gravity is way back here now, but we still need tail wings as well. So it's literally a plane with rocket power, but man, that center of gravity is way off. If we strap a big enough wheel to this thing, will that make up for it? It kind of starts to. But also, that is a giant wheel for this plane. Like, we almost need the landing gear on the tail fins. And that is an egregious angle of attack, goodness. So maybe not the big wheel, just the little one. So it still has the upward angle it needs, just hopefully the rocket doesn't drag on the ground. I got a bad feeling about this, but I also feel like it's gonna be amazing. Except we also still only have 4 units of fuel, so maybe the fuel tanks will push the weight forward with 2 oversized ones. Is that, oh, that does kind of push the weight forward more. But can we get these to be more compact? So they still poke out a little bit, and that drag is insane. Maybe instead of mirroring each other, we just place them one at a time in sequence. So that gets shoved in there, centralized, and that should work better. Flying with a giant fuel canister right behind you, what could go wrong? And then actually if we stack another one in that same spot, then that should push the way forward even more. Although it's not too crazy, but I still like this setup. So yes, rocket-powered glider thing. Landing in this is gonna be a treat. Ooh, maybe that's a good reason to add some air brake parachutes, which I totally forgot about the entire time. Where does this even go? There? Just strap them on the wings? We might need 2 of them in that case. Hopefully that doesn't rip the wings off. Oh my gosh, you can invert the rocket? What? Save that little nugget of knowledge for later. Let's fly this thing. Wow, the rocket actually isn't touching the ground. I probably should have looked at what the button was for the air brakes, because the landing gear is G, and we'll figure out as we go. Maximum thrust. Okay, set land speed records. Whoa, we were airborne. Oh yes, and we have, wow. This thing doesn't use as much fuel as I thought we did. Okay, so there's an airport there. That's not the crash or the explosion site. Wow, this thing is awesome. And there is so much desert, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at how fast we're going. Whoop, that's water. Turn around, massive banking operation. Is that the explosion site? That might be the explosion site. I see smokestacks. Nope, that is not the explosion site. Oh, there it is, a nuclear facility. Oh yeah, explosion. One of the cooling towers is just gone. But my goodness, the speed. 500, 600, and the wings are holding up. That's even better. We are going way faster than we could in any other plane. How fast can we get? Pardon me while we do a little science experiment. Starting to run low on fuel, but it also looks like we're starting to taper out on speed. 880. 890, can we get to 900? Oh, yes we can. Okay, let's try to find a landing site now. Oh, don't go in the water. Woo! Saved it. I have no idea where we are. Okay, we're almost to snow, so we might be able to land this. Actually, snow is the worst place to try and land this. We have too much speed. So, air brakes, how do those work? Oh, they actually deploy when we slow down. Okay then, that helps. Can we try to land here? Just ever so slightly. Oh my gosh, we are landing this. We actually landed it. That's amazing. And the rocket's still going. But we have made it. Wow, successful first flight. And then as soon as we refuel, the rocket shuts off. Oh, this thing is awesome. We might be able to use this actually. I was just kind of doing it for a bit. Can we take off from here? Oh my gosh, we can take off from here. This is the best plane ever. But let's find the desert again. It's over there. And and then we cross it in a second. Man, I wish I had this when we were doing those timed things, but knowing this region, there's probably gonna be more. So why don't we fly over to the explosion site, wherever it was. Ooh, there's a, what is that? Hold on, what is that? Is that like a solar plant? It looks like a solar plant, wow. Oh no, that's not solar panels. Those are weird vats. And I was hoping to see Matthew McConaughey over there fighting on the tower. But there's the explosion site, so let's slow down. And then runway is kind of weird, but doesn't matter. We slow down, and then, ooh, we actually might be able to make the runway, which is kind of more of a road. But, oh, these air brakes are amazing. Thank you, Comments, for telling me about these. The reactor exploded. So maybe I shouldn't have brought a rocket here. We need your immediate help. Please deliver medicine for our workers. Okay. Also deliver water. Sure. Does that let me fly over the cooling tower to put out the fire that way? Like one of those water planes? Those things are so cool. It's like carpet bombing nature, but with, you know, water. Okay, so water. Oh, that's where we were, a water treatment plant. And of course, there's another mine. Advanced factories. Waste storage is kind of just its own thing. Advanced research station. Okay, but what do you need? Syringes. Oh, so we are going over here. But 50 water. Hopefully water isn't heavy, but why don't we see what's happening over here? Man, the fact that we can just take off right away without needing to try and land, or not land, reset. I love this thing. I wasn't expecting it to work so good, but whoa, okay, too fast, too fast. Bank around, air brakes all day, and then gently down. Wow, this thing does not fall very fast. That's awesome. We've detected high levels of radiation and people are getting sick. Yeah, I wonder why. Next thing you know, we're gonna see ghouls. That one was gonna be named like Jason Bright. We're producing an antidote, but we need resources. Can you help us? Sure, but do I need to do that before getting syringes? Oh, these are timed and fragile. Yikes. But thankfully they don't weigh very much, and we actually have enough storage for one of them. So why don't we see if we can do that before trying to haul any others? So we load that up and then get on out of here very quickly. Crossing the desert in 30 seconds flat. This is working so well. But it's also fragile, so we should definitely slow down early and then brake, and then hopefully touch down nicely. Ooh, we actually might be too high up to touch down nicely. And too much speed. Oh no, it expired, it didn't break. So we were flying too high and too fast. But also, what do you need? Oh, that mine does titanium. Wow, and ice. You need ice from way over here. Good thing we're flying fast. We just don't have a lot of cargo space. And then also chips, which is here. But let's try that syringe run again. If we can figure out when we need to start braking, then this thing is just gonna be awesome. And flew right over the scrap again without acknowledging it. So when we get to 1 units away, we can start to slow down. Oh, that's still way too much speed. Do we brake better when we're on the ground? Probably, but now we need just ever so slight amount of thrust to get back to this place. This looks like a lunar facility, and yet it is here on Holy Terra. Okay, syringe, away we go. So 1 unit away isn't quite far away enough to start braking, so maybe like 1.5, and also flying low so we can touch ground as soon as possible, or as soon as we start to see it. And we did get the scrap on the way, so that's good news. Just casually coasting along, touchdown gently. Oh, beautiful landing. Oh, but we didn't slow down enough. That is even more upsetting. Can I do a flip over finally? Hey, kinda could. Pilots will have to tell me whatever that maneuver is. Like fly up 180 and then level out. But this is getting us better at landing this thing. And whoa, ooh, beautiful landing there. Who knew the trick to getting smooth landings was just a rocket? But man, that is a lot closer on time than I thought it was. Take one of these, go, fly low, fly fast. Oh, how I wish this game had sonic booms. Just low, fast, wait for the smoke, and then start braking. Brake some more, cactus, and then touchdown. Whoa, we made it. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Yes, 1 syringe. Out of what, how much do they need? 4? But just one of those is 300 coins. Oh yeah, they need 3 more. Goodness gracious. I mean, we do have almost 4,000 money on the side. So why don't we see if we can make our rocket plane even more speedy or more storage capacity-y. The trick is getting this better without really messing with the drag as much, because this is a thing of beauty. There's like minimal drag here, except for where the rocket is. So if we just expand the back section here, I guess, a little bit up and a little bit to the side, then that levels it out with maintaining minimal drag, and we got a little more cargo space. But I feel like our skinny cockpit here is not gonna be enough, especially because it only has a cargo of 10. So that's a little bit bigger, and then this is way bigger. Like even this has more cargo for about the same attachment and ending point, but I think this cockpit's gonna work better. So let's detach this and then strap you on here if we can, or 2 cockpits back to back. But we sell this and then put this cockpit on here, which now has a weird relationship, but I guess as long as it works, and then we fill the rocket to be this. That now makes it weirdly taper towards the back, but that does so much for our cargo space. And then here, let's just level this out so it's still circular at that size. And then we just have another fuselage section back here that tapers down to the size of the rocket, which shouldn't take too much. Okay, that works. A little bit weirdly shaped now, and the wheels definitely cannot support 24 pounds of this, but we are definitely keeping the air brakes. So now the giant retractable wheels are justified. Can they still go on the tail fins though? We probably need bigger ones, which are as big as the main wings. If it works, I guess. Just, wow, this is disproportionate. And just having those shifts the center of gravity so much. So hopefully we can still get away with these ones, because that just looks better. And then I guess we'll have to deal with the center of gravity being behind the wings, but still not past the wing tips. Not sure if that makes a difference, but this has plenty of cargo and plenty of space to stash the fuel canisters. And the drag is still looking amazing. Sweet, wow, I didn't realize the back legs, or not the legs, the back wheels were giving so much angle to this. But flight number 2 with plane number 2, Electric Boogaloo. So, okay, we definitely don't get as much speed here right away, but hopefully it's enough that we can carry the rest of the syringes in one go. And it being bigger and weighing more should mean that it slows down easier. Still not slowing down enough. Stay on land, stay on land, stay on land. We made it. I just realized that the wings being out like this make it look like a weird sort of anime run when it's flying. We're also too far away. So do this again. Okay, and then now we're lined up on a runway. Perfect. So we need 3 more syringes. So 1, 2, 3. On the move, and then up in the air. Away we go. I get the feeling that we're not gonna make it this time, just because of how much more weight we have to move. Although we are still booking it incredibly fast. There it is, there it is. Gotta start slowing down, but oh, aggressively fast. Oh, yep, it expired. We were just not fast enough. And we'll crash into a light. Let's try this again. If it does come down to it, we might have to move the syringes one at a time, because we know that the previous plane can make it, but this just isn't fast enough by a small margin. But we can use it still to transport bigger things. So why don't we see what the water is like? Surely water doesn't have an expiration. We have this plane and it is awesome. Might as well make use of it. So we gently arrive to the water treatment plant. Coasting down very nicely. Whoop, semi-smooth landing. Can you deliver 3 chemicals to keep the water clean? Like, I know that's how water treatment works, but that's still like it's poisonous to people, but we're treating it with we're treating water with it. Okay, so the water thankfully isn't very heavy, and it takes up 10 cargo, and we need 50 water? That would need 500 cargo space to take it all in one go. But let's see what we can do with how much we can carry. We can carry 16 at a time. And now it's too heavy for the front wheel. Whoop. You know, probably didn't need that anyway. Just dragging our nose on the ground. I would like to get lift, get lift, get lift, get lift. Or just ramp off the dirt. That works too. Now the real trick is gonna be landing without a front landing gear. But if we just be gentle about it. Aha! And now we have an episode 3 moment of dragging our nose to a stop. Thank you for your delivery. 16 water, 444 coins, only 34 more water. So it actually can be done in like 3 trips. That's certainly much better than trying to do that with the tiny plane that can only carry that would only be like 2 units of water at a time. And there's still more scrap over here. We might be able to research something else that can help. Although I'm not really sure what would, because our plane right now is amazing. Maybe it would. If there was better cockpits for the rocket engines. Come on, stop at the airport, stop at the airport. Thank you. Carry the same amount of water and hopefully take off before landing gear collapses. And thankfully we do. Yes, much better takeoff. No dirt ramps here. So now this water delivery goes much smoother. Man, those air brakes make a world of difference. And we still save the landing gear. Oh no, it's not quite 3 trips. 18 more water? Really? Well, it's no issue really. We can get the big portions of water over there in our big rocket plane, which, does this make it a shuttle? Like one of them NASA planes that look like an orca? Either way, we can get the bulk of it over here with the big plane, and then the little bits on the side only need 2 more water. We can get that with our fast one. Let's take care of the big deliveries with this guy before we swap over. And probably should have refueled before taking off, but we can cross the desert in a second, so it doesn't really matter. And this is the advanced factory over here that delivers the chips, which we do need to deliver to the other research facility that had the syringes. So we might as well see what's going on here. Hello, we did not receive the raw materials needed for production. Okay, so you also want titanium, but do you also have, okay, you do, oh, they're fragile. You know, that makes sense, but wow, 80 cargo, goodness. We can only take 2 of these at a time, and they're super light. How much did that place need? Okay, only 5 of them. That's not terrible, but I feel like this game is trying to ramp us up to like having a gigantic plane. But we also need something that can deliver safely. So let's still use this one, and we can still take 2 of these. Just a matter of landing safely, and also maybe knowing where it is. There it is. Oh, still a little too much speed coming in, but as long as we can touch down safely, oh, we did it! Yes, nothing broke, and we delivered the chips. Are they cool, Ranch? Now, this place also does the chemicals that the water treatment plant needs, which has a timer of 35 seconds. And the water treatment's on the other side of the desert. Well, I guess it's kind of equidistant. So we might have a better chance with delivering the chemicals than the syringes. And let's see, you need 3 chemicals, which we can take. Yeah, we can take all 3. Might as well try it. And then quickly get to the treatment plant, which, where is it? There it is. Gotta mark it and gotta fly fast. At least the things in the desert aren't very heavy. Okay, treatment plant's in sight. Slow down, gotta land this. Ooh, cactus. And touchdown. Smooth landing. Slow down. We didn't slow down fast enough, but we can still make it in the time allotted. So we should be able to do this. So 1, 2, 3 on the go, and away we go. Basically, you need to start slowing down as soon as we can see it through the fog, which I think is like 2.5 units away. Or we could slow down a little sooner, but now's the time to slow down regardless. Just gotta roll along the dirt to get there. Ooh, come on, enough. Oh, it's still not enough. So we can get here in ample time, we just can't slow down fast enough. But if we go any slower, then we risk not making it at all. Like, why can't I just airdrop all of these supplies? Why do I have to land it personally? Okay, so let's start slowing down from a bit further away, like here. And then it's gonna be a little closer, but maybe doable. Come on, touchdown, slow down, brake. Oh, still not enough. So I feel like the easiest fix for this is just more brakes. Air brakes all along the wing. At least we can make it look good. So we have quite the arrangement of air brakes on here, but it should work better for slowing down a lot faster. It's like we're doing some weird Jackie Chan kung fu routine with teacups on our plane. But this is a good time to see how quickly we slow down. Oh wow, that really slows down. We can get to almost 0 in the air. Pick up again, we're not at the airport yet. Doing weird aerial stunts with parachutes, but that works super good for slowing down. Okay, chemicals again. Up we go again. Thankfully, the parachutes aren't too heavy. I mean, if anything, they're shifting the center of gravity more in line with the wings. So we still get there fast enough, start to slow down, and then land. Slow down, slow down, slow down, and yes, we got it. Oh, air brakes for the win. Oh wait, we don't even get money for that? We just get scraps? Oh no, there was money. A lot of it, wow, sweet. And of course, you need some more chemicals. And you want 5 chemicals this time. Well, at least we know we can do it. So we might as well get that done with. I love how fast this slows down. And smooth landing. A little bit of a bump. Do we even have the space for 5 chemicals? We have the space for 4. Hopefully that doesn't upset the weight too much. It was pretty close, so if 1 chemical extra makes it not reachable, then that's gonna be upsetting. But as soon as we touch down, are we close enough? Oh, we weren't close enough to the airport. Slow down too soon. I'm also kind of surprised we haven't had any odd signals yet. Unless the nuclear plant was the source of the signal. Also, the fact that the plane flies lower than the Eagles is kind of concerning. So we don't need to slow down as soon, just so we can get there and then touch down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Yes! And then one more chemical should be absolutely easy because that is a lot less weight. But sadly, we can't go back to our smaller, speedier plane for that because of cargo space. I like this though. Oh man, the lack of altitude is almost concerning, but it works. That was the best one yet. We had plenty of time to spare, and even more scrap to unlock plane parts. Over 50, 60, 70 scrap. So we can get other propellers, but is it really worth getting that right now? Because, I mean, rocket, come on, look at all that thrust. Nothing gets close to that. Oh, this one also consumes energy. Interesting. Or, not energy, electricity. That would explain the batteries. But now we can afford a big wing, although that does take most of it. Do we need better landing gear? What else can we get? There's balloons. That'd be fun to mess with. Or there are smaller cockpits that have more space with a fraction of the weight that these do. So let's go through and unlock these. Oh, those actually were really cheap. And a big old fuel tank, might as well. Now we can't afford the big wing, but a canard? What does that even mean? There's Delta wings. Are we flying with Delta now? Those do have more strength than our small jet wings. Might as well see what they are. And then sure, whatever a canard is. So let's just piece all this together. We have actually most of the cockpits unlocked, except for that giant one. But this is the one that has the most cargo space for how light it is. It's also just very pointy. Just throw it like a dart at this point. Isn't that kind of what we're making here? A rocket-powered dart? Well, either way, fuselage goes in. And then, what were those wings? It was like a Delta wing, right? Yeah, right there. Oh, it's just these things. Maybe we can go with those. They somehow have the, actually, do they have the most amount of lift? Oh, not even close. But they do have the most strength, probably because they're just a triangle. There's also a canard here, which I guess just doesn't move. I think this does work though. We have a surprising amount of cargo space for the size that we have. How does this cockpit compare to the one that we started with? Oh, that would explain it. This is way bigger, but it's so light. You know what this game needs? This game needs the Concorde cockpit with the droop snoot. Love me some droop snoot. But the rocket here is smaller. Does that really matter though? I'm honestly surprised we have this much cargo space for how small this thing is. But let's just lengthen this slightly, move the wings up like that. Rocket go on there, and that should work pretty well. Maybe if we just move that up slightly and then get some more of those tail wings in the back. I feel like this wouldn't work too well. We don't exactly have a lot of yaw potential, unless we do one of this. But that just seems a little strange. And yet the canard has the same amount of lift, just a lot stronger. Well, we should be good with this. And we haven't even messed with the bigger landing gears that we have access to. But now the center of gravity is a bit too far forward from our wheels. Unless we rotate these, is that enough? That is just barely enough. But would it be better to just have a tiny wheel in the front? Oh, but that load limit though. I feel like that load limit bites us. So let's see if this works. Oh man, we had like no runway at all and we got to take off. So let's get the water now, and maybe the syringes. But water first, because there's only 2 things left of that. So let's take care of the last little bit of water that the nuclear plant needs, which we can easily transport now. This cockpit was honestly way bigger than I thought it was. And the back of the plane isn't even aerodynamic at all. It doesn't taper to the rocket engine or anything. Not that it really needs to, which is the best part, because I don't think the aerodynamics worry about the back end of it with drag or whatever. Okay, made it. And we somehow got more for delivering just the last 2, because that has got to be quite the vacuum created here with the way our plane is. But now we should be able to deliver the syringes that we need a lot easier. We got 1, and I think they needed, what, 4 more? So oh yeah, we can easily make that, and the wings have the strength to support this. But, too much speed, too much speed, too much speed. Circle back around, level out. Too much. I was cool for a moment. Whoa, okay, that was, I will admit, that was way closer to the ground than I thought it was. Okay, it's 3 syringes. 1, 2, 3. Now we do have to be careful to land carefully with these because they're fragile. Or we don't need to if we slow down slow enough by the time we, oh no! Well, it doesn't matter, it expired anyway, right as we got there. Okay, let's just not even think about it and then add more things here. Okay, now let's be more careful with these in that last run. Get the landing gear out, deploy the air brakes. Ooh, avoid that. electrical tower, and yes! No! One broke! Come on! We delivered the other two, but that is just annoying. Honestly, more annoying than them all breaking, if I'm gonna be honest. So let's just be careful with this last one. It's a weird balance of not being directly over it by the time we break, but also being close enough that we're not too far away when we get within a stop. But it should work pretty well as long as the landing gear is down, and ooh, smooth landing, yes! So that should be all the chemical plant, or the nuclear plant needs in the first stage. Wow, 50 scrap for the effort. I didn't even realize that. Can you transport the nuclear waste to the storage facility? That seems even more dangerous. I don't think this thing is radioactive rated, and it takes 600 cargo to transport this thing regardless? Wow. And it is heavy! We might as well see what other places need, like this waste storage that's down here. And there's also the mine that's out here that we haven't visited yet, but let's see what this place is dealing with first. Because I feel like they also have problems, like probably not being rated for storage after earthquake. We've had a reactor explosion at the power plant. Yeah, I was there. Need to prep the facility for radioactive waste storage. Yeah, kind of figured that. Can you get the supplies here? So you want titanium and lead, which I guess both come from here. Why do I feel like that stuff is gonna be egregiously heavy? But maybe our rocket has enough thrust to take care of it anyway. Since the explosion, our workers have started to get sick. Oh great, everyone's getting radiation poisoning. Deliver some supplies. Let me guess, more syringes? Syringes, water, and fish, because fish know how to deal with radiation, I guess. But, okay, yep, 150 and 250. We're actually pretty close to delivering titanium, but nowhere near close to delivering lead. And it's actually closer to the medicine facility, so delivering syringes should be quicker that way. Let's just avoid the porta potties on our takeoff. And it's 3 syringes. So oh yeah, this is way closer. It should be way easier as long as we land properly so none of them break. Slowing down a little bit on approach. Landing gear down. Descend. Brake. Stop. One broke. Slow down. Yes! Oh, that worked. A scheduled break, 1,200 coins. We have 10,000 monies right now, and that's after everything we put into this plane. Okay, now you also need fish, which has its own timer, unfortunately. And it's also way over there. I also forgot that we didn't complete everything in the winter zone. So maybe it's worth helping them out a little bit, which means going back to the first zone we were in. Can we please flip over? Come on, flip over, flip over. Kinda worked. Wasn't as good. It's really good for getting altitude though. We still see the ground, but it's a lot of fog. I don't even know if our plane's gonna have enough cargo space to transport the lumber. But thankfully it is just lumber and not the wood logs. Oh, we do have enough for the wood logs. And 1, 2, 3, not quite enough for 4 lumber. But our rocket has plenty of thrust to transport this stuff. We used to struggle with the lumber, and we are now cruising over the mountaintops. Straight to the fishing yard. Get a little bit of money there. And then I guess we could deliver ice too. Now the fish has a timer of 55 seconds, which I think we can be in the air for less, especially because it's so light. So hopefully this is a very quick transcontinental flight. Just gotta keep an eye out for it. And there it is. Brake! Fish ain't fragile. Fish ain't fragile. Just land it. Oh, landed it, yes! Another successful job by Air Intern. And now comes the easy part. Water. But we don't have the cargo of our last plane, so how much water can we transport? They need 15, which the other one could do 16 water. So we have enough space for 14. That's honestly annoying. So let's just swap back to our other rocket plane. Get rid of these wings, which I guess the fuel tanks were also attached to. And then we get the big delta wings on this guy. So now this is kind of looking like a space shuttle a bit more. And I didn't realize the delta wings were such a weight reduction. I guess it makes sense because the lift isn't quite there, but it should be fine regardless. But we still need to think about how to transport that lead. That is a lot more weight that we need to put on there. Although we do have a lot of scrap, so we can research the big cockpit, which has an 85 cargo capacity. We'll definitely need that, which costs all the scrap that we had. And whoa, this needs a lot more runway to take off now. I guess that change in lift is really a difference. We also don't have the canards on this one because I forgot to. Whoop, treat. So that would help too, but we should still be able to transport the water easy enough. All 15 water, which the wheels are still holding on somehow. but we might need that dirt ramp again. Yee! God, cactus! Why was that there? Just, oh goodness, good thing water ain't fragile. And the mine actually is a lot less far away than I thought it was. But we just, touchdown. Very nice, glide on in. Wheel load's too heavy, but we're fine. More coins. We're probably gonna need a lot to make a thing that can transport all this. 60 scrap for the effort. Oh, that's amazing. I guess this plane is able to transport titanium. How much does the waste treatment need? Just one? Oh, let's do it then. We can worry about the lead later. But this is 24 to the weight. Wow. That front landing gear is struggling right now. But with a little bit of extra runway space, we are up. Whew. Although it's not so much limping when you're going ludicrous speeds. Just got a touchdown, very nice. Slow down. Nice, titanium delivered. And I guess the research station over here also needs titanium. We might have everything we need for the massive plane to transport lead, because the prop engines here really don't have any more thrust than the rocket does. What we need more of, I think, is, okay, definitely the bigger delta wing. Or the big wing? This has a lot more lift. Let's go for the biggest wing, and then I guess see how much these cost. That's the big cockpit, that's 1,000. Big wing is 2,500, yeesh. Well, let's see, okay, so with a clean slate, we have 22,000. So let's just see what is left after we get the fuselage big enough to transport all that. Which it was like 400, right, or 300? And then rocket, it'd be nice if I could scale up the rocket to be bigger. Now the big wings are, whoa, okay. My goodness, these actually have like little attachment points for things. What if we put the rockets on those? But we don't have enough money for any more rockets. We do have enough room for two, like this, but we might need it, so this is awesome. Man, these are just getting dwarfed right now. That is so tiny. Oh wait, are these the ailerons? It might not be good to strap rockets to those, but you know what? We'll figure that out the hard way. And then yeah, I guess just tapering this down to a point and then doing the up angle like that. Not really sure if this does anything, but it looks cool. Oh, I just realized there is a big tail wing. So that's not these ones. That is a lot more proportionate. I was getting really worried there, but also the point of gravity is way back here. Well, that's all well and good though. We're gonna need a lot of fuel to support this anyway. So can we get 4 tanks on here? We can if we use most of the money, which doesn't leave a lot of room for landing gear, even though I'm pretty sure we're gonna need more sizable landing gears. Because man, if the landing gear can't support this weight, then those rockets are gonna be scraping along the bottom. We can't even afford air brakes. Chunk. Oh great, it can't even support its own weights. Let's take off. Oh my goodness, this is insane, the size of it. Good thing there's no heat in the game either. Although we probably could have done these rockets out wider. But wow, this thing can take off successfully. Oh yes, this is AC-130 territory. And you know what? There are places that need 3 units of titanium, so might as well see. Oh my gosh, this is fast. Yeah, this is fast. Yeah, land it. We made it down, and that actually wasn't very much fuel. But oh, I guess we gotta scrape our way to the mine over here. This is definitely not something you want transporting time expiring stuff. So, oh, the lead was only 250. Kind of overkilled it there. But the nuclear waste was a lot. I remember that. So let's just load the lead and get out of here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was still too much. We are getting enough lift to save the front landing gear though. Oh my gosh, 2 rockets. Time to touchdown. Whoa, we're good, we're good. We're good, we're good. We made it. Lead delivered. And that should give plenty of scrap, 30 scrap. So do you need anything else to support the nuclear waste? Probably. More titanium, more lead, and more water, but that's 1,000 money for delivering the water. And 30 units of it we might be able to do, because we have 400 storage. And oh man, I forgot we don't have air brakes again. Touchdown. Slide to a stop. At least it's heavy, so it slides, so it brakes very fast regardless. But I feel like we're not gonna have landing gear taking off of this. But 30 water, oh my gosh, that's 100 weight on our plane. We got this. Just gotta ramp up the mound right there, because we also can't turn without wheels. Come on, get, oh yes, we're airborne. Oh my gosh, this is working. I am honestly amazed we were able to take off there. But can we land this? We also can't brake. I guess our rockets can reverse thrust, but that worked with no wheels. And that's 1,000 coins for that. Now I think is a good time to hopefully invest in better landing gear. Thankfully we can, which has a little bit better load limit. And the last one is 40 scrap, which we should be able to do dealing with the titanium and lead whatnots, but let's get that better landing gear on here first. Still need to pull this one in more. And you know what? An air brake on the back really isn't a bad idea. Or, you know, maybe 2 of them is a good idea. So didn't really get to see if the wheels were supporting this. We'll just have to see how well the braking works. Oh man, it's got the little air things happening off the side of the wings that people mistake for chemtrails. But we do land it. Ooh, we slow down very nicely with the size of our plane. Excellent. And we can confirm the wheels support the weight of the plane. We have reached bare minimum. I also love that the titanium is only 1 pound lighter than the lead, but we can also carry both titaniums at once. And oh, our butt scraping. The landing gear ain't back far enough to give lift, but we made it. And butter landing? Yeah, kind of. It's like one of those, I can't believe it's not better landings. But that's still 390 more coins, but we only have enough space for 1 lead at a time. Thankfully though, that's still not too much more pressure for our gigantic plane. Oh, yes. And we land on the runway. And then that's us 60 more scrap. Now we can afford the giant landing gears. Oh my gosh, you need more? Oh, okay. Please transport the dangerous radioactive material here. Can we do that right now though? I feel like it was still a little bit more heavy. So I feel like we're gonna need a little bit more money to fund all the extra parts we need for our plane. Like 2 more rocket engines and maybe some more fuselage because this is very narrow together. And one of the ways that we can do that is delivering, oh, you only have enough for 2 titanium instead of 3? It's not that much more distance. Like literally I could just take this back section and extend it ever so slightly, which also kind of makes it look better, I won't lie. But let's also just drag this back slightly so it elongates even more. And we have enough for 1 more rocket, so, oh, never mind. No, not even close. And there is bigger delta wings that don't have as much lift. I think we need all the lift we can get. But these retractable wheels here have way more load limit. So just a little bit of a swap-de-doo. So now instead of 2 wheels, they have 4 wheels. Rockets go below here, a bit more spaced out. So our plane empty weighs 72 pounds, or that's not even 72 pounds, goodness. That's like 72 tons. But, whoa, the wheels can still support their own weight, even if we're dragging the butt slightly on takeoff. But our plane is able to very easily make it to the mine. Whoa, a little shaky. But we're lined up with the runway. We can load 1, 2, 3 titaniums. We have 500 cargo space. Maybe that's how much the nuclear waste weighed. I kind of forget. It was either 400 or 500. Either way, we can support it. And we can support takeoff too, even if slightly. Ah! Whoa! Whoa. Okay. We're fine. Everything is good. Everything is dandy. Fly over these trees, slow down. And then let's just slide on in with our mega wheels. There we go. Titanium delivered. Man, these people are paying a lot for water. This job gives $12.50 for 30? You know what? Say less. And our big wheels should be able to support 30 water, hopefully. Oh, they actually can. Oh, yes, that's amazing. Now, can we take off? Oh, we can. Way better than with the titanium. This is looking good. Let's go for our best landing yet. Maybe on the next one. 30 water, easy, 1250 coins. So we're about halfway to a 3rd rocket, but now they want chemicals, and that's a lot of work. Oh man, we have to deliver only 1 radioactive waste. But while we're here, is it worth getting 3 chips over there? They're kind of fragile. What if we take extra, just in the chance of them breaking? Let's just aim for this to be as gentle of a landing as possible. And it's right there, over the dunes, so we can slow down some more, ever so slightly. Dodging the tree, dodging the ground. Priority 1 of a plane, dodging the ground, and beautiful landing! We delivered all the chips! With interest, 526 more coins. And this plane is absolutely not outfitted for delivering chemicals. You know, I bet our giant rocket plane could deliver all of these materials in 1 trip. Would also help finish off the winter region's objectives. And then it's 3 lumber and 2 logs. That is still most of our weight, but we can carry it all. And we're getting rotation. Just need a little more rotation to take off, and yes! Coming up just short and rolling in. This works just fine. There's the lumber, 360 coins for that, and the wood logs. And 300 more coins for that, and some scrap on the side. So while we're at it, we might as well fly back to the lumber camp, pick up one little bit of lumber that the fishing yard needs. But before we go back there, we might as well go to the factory because we should be able to transport those materials that we get there for the shipping yard as well. Or I guess the fishing port. Oh man, I love these air brakes. How was I not using them before? I didn't realize how much cargo space the steel takes up. But we can still carry it all. It's just, oh man, being at capacity really prevents rotation. Please don't crash. Just ramp. Oh, thank you for ramping, and nothing is fragile. And for the first time in a while, we have the low fuel warning. We might not even need the air brakes for this. Ugh, just slide on in and coast to a stop. Easy. So we get all the lumber and the money for that, and the copper and the money for that, and ooh, the steel, I think, puts us over 5,000. Yes, we can get a third rocket and some more scrap. We have 100 scrap now. That's amazing. And I think that's the last job in the winter region. It very much is. Awesome. And honestly, since we're going back to the desert, we might as well pick up the ice now that the one place needs. But I forget if ice is fragile. That might be a problem. Okay, so ice is fragile, and you want 3 of them. So what if we just fill up on ice as much as possible? Maybe not as much as possible, but 100 pounds or 100 tons should be enough of cargo space. We'll make it. But wow, we are running out of fuel fast. But it should be coming up in sight pretty soon. So let's decrease throttle even more. And there's all the fuel that we had. Okay, time to hopefully glide in, but 100 tons gliding in is not something that we can do. So let's just take a swim and then go back to here. Is there anything more worth researching? I guess there's these giant delta wings. I guess we might as well research these other prop engines just because, which is all the scrap that we had there. Big electric engines. Don't really care because I have a third rocket on my plane, which kind of makes it awkward on the tail section. And third rocket means we definitely are gonna need more fuel, but we just exhausted like all of our money, and I think the weight balance is a bit incorrect now. Well, it's still an upward angle, so we should still be able to take off. And shorter trips should mean that we don't need as much fuel, right? But we also lost all the ice, and I don't feel like going back for it. So why don't we go ahead and see if we can get all the radioactive material to the storage place using 3 rockets on our plane. I love this. And the smokestack it's not even a smokestack. The cooling tower is still burning. So somebody didn't do their job, but that's not my place to worry about it because I have radioactive waste to deal with. Oh, it's 600. Great! But if we do that chemical job there, then that should be enough money to expand the fuselage. But I think we're gonna need the fast plane for that. And my goodness, I forgot how much faster this plane is. Just, you know, a casual 500 miles per hour or something like that. That seems very slow for a plane. But it's way better than our giant transport. And this place needs 7 chemicals. I don't think we have the space for that. But let's just worry about getting a few over there at a time. I would much rather do this than take the giant one and risk being not in time. But this is, oh yes, way better. That was one of our best landings in a while. And with this last chemical here that we can just really blitz on delivery. The fun kind of blitz, not the dude. That's the rest of the coins, which is 536 and 50 scrap on the side. And the fuses, I forgot about that. And thankfully they don't need anything else. But we have the scrap anyway, so let's just research the delta wing there. Sure. And then a light wheel there and the glider wing there. So we do have a lot of this research. We just haven't gone into any of the battery stuff at all. There's a decoupler and a rotation joint. Hold on. So we could make VTOLs? Oh, logging that away for later. But let's get our big 3 rocket plane in good enough position to transport the nuclear waste, which is right there. It's just gonna be a matter of how heavy is this thing gonna be once we get that nuclear waste on here. At least we still get plenty of speed, but hopefully this isn't too difficult. I would hate to try and scrape funds together for a 4th rocket on here. And this doesn't have a timer, but that's a 40 tons of radioactive waste. I'm thinking that's tons. It's the only thing that makes sense. But let's see how well this goes. We have it on board. Oh, we have rotation. That actually was pretty easy. Our rocket plane is amazing. Now we just gotta land this, which thankfully the radioactive waste is neither fragile nor time sensitive. And we land on the runway. Amazing. We delivered the radioactive fuel. You've contained the dangers and the islands are safe again. Amazing. We only need 1 Chernobyl in our lifetimes. Mission complete. That was awesome. And we get to continue with more plane shenanigans. Thank you so much for helping out. Oh, that better be a huge payout. It was like $12.50. A lot of scrap so we can get more of those fun bits that I didn't realize we had. And a lot of fuses, oh my goodness. And let's go back to our incredibly fast plane here and then see what happens when we put 3 rockets on this one. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be good, even though it is insanely heavy. It won't matter if we're airborne. And we get airborne so fast. Yes! Now let's get over the water and see what kind of speeds we can get to. Can we get to 1,000 speed? We are getting faster even as we're turning. This is insane. We can get 840, 50, half of our fuel left, 900. Oh man, we're going south now. I think we gotta get even more room to move. Point north, I don't know where north is. Come on, break 1,000, break 1,000. Yes, 1,000 speed. I don't even know where to go from this point. There goes the water treatment plant, and we are currently out of fuel. So we relive the Dunkirk moment again and just glide without fuel over everything. There's a plant that we saved. I love this game. It's so good. Let's land on the sandbar. Sure, island getaway. As long as we don't need landing gear. We're just gonna be here at the edge of the water. And I do hope you guys enjoyed, because now that we're done with the story segments, we can have fun with the research shenanigans down here. So let me know if you guys want more of that. I do hope you guys enjoyed these videos on Aviassembly, and if you have and you want to see more, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and sub to Intern.